Welcome to the Alchemistik Laboratory. In this tutorial we're going to make the Master Sword from the Legend of Zelda. This is a quite good exercise to make in Plasticity, and I'm sure you will learn some cool tricks throughout the tutorial. Once in Blender, the model can look something like this. Of course, you can improve the materials and many other things. And remember, I am also selling a tutorial in Gumroad. This you can find in the description down below. This helps the channel a lot. This supports me quite good. So now let's jump into the tutorial. Okay, first things first, we delete the cube, go to the front view, and we import the reference image, drag and drop. Let's move this in the center. Okay, somewhere there. Then we put the material front, opacity around 20% and front only. We move this to the back. And now we can start to draw. Maybe this I will lower just to have much closer the origin point. Okay, so now what should we do? I suggest we start drawing this moon shape. So for this, I make a control point curve, click, click, and click. Then another control point curve to make the other part of the moon. Something like this. Okay, so what is the point here? So in this part of the moon, the shape will come out here. So this should be more outside, then inside, outside, and inside. Okay, so now we grab a control point curve, click, click, and horizontal click. So I just need to manipulate one point. This is much easier. And it seems to work. Okay, so this is what I mean. This curve needs to be outside, together with this curve, which I am duplicating and putting it here. So I'm going to grab all these 4 lines, isolate them, and these 2 lines in the center, I'm going to bring them a bit outside, something there. And this point, which is in the top, I'm going to intersect it to this point. So you see, I have this kind of shape. Maybe these points, I can move them a bit outside. So this would be the thickness of the moon shape of the sword. And basically, we just need another line in the center. And this point I snap, and this point I just move and try to make it in the middle. So I have this kind of shape. Now I need to be careful. I will grab these lines because now it's exactly in the middle. If I would mirror this object, it would probably make some strange artifacts once it has this solid. So for this, I'm going to move them a bit to the left, just separate them a bit from the origin. And this line, which is in the middle, this line I'm going to move even more to the left. Something like this. At this point, of course, I put it here. So we have this kind of shape. So now it's just a matter of making loft. So I grab this line and this line loft. This line and this line loft. This to here loft. And this to here loft. I grab everything, join it. I grab the faces, join it. And I will have this kind of shape. Okay, so basically we have our moon, so I can just mirror it, join it, mirror it on the side, and join it. But for this we need to make some loft. So I will hide all the curves from here to here, and from here to here, loft. It can be G1 or G0, it depends on you. So from here to here and from here to here, loft, G1. So grab everything, join it, and we just need to make these holes from here to here, patch, and these ones as well, from here to here, patch. So now this would be a solid. This is what we look for. And we have basically the shape of the moon. So now the other complication would be how to make these wings, which is basically the same process again. But you need to start drawing sometimes from this part of the curve so that you have this shape already. Okay, so I'm going to graph control point curve, and these lines, this line, this line, and this line should be up. So I'm going to snap it to this edge and just make some points. Again, so this would be to this, like so, and here, like so. Just accommodate the points a bit, and you will see that our lines are snapping exactly where we need them. Okay, now we have this part. Now what I need to do is, now I need to draw these other curves. So we do the same, but instead of snapping them to this edge, I can snap them to the one in the middle. I think the one in the middle should be the one. So I click here, 1 point and 1 point. Then again, this point in the middle. And then again to here. And finally here as well. In the edge, and so. So now I have all these lines. And these lines, you will see what kind of shape they have. Okay, and we do exactly the same. We graph this one and this one, loft, from here to here, loft, from here to here, loft, again, and until we finish. So now we have the shape we need. Now we graph everything, join it, and we can mirror it. I'm going to isolate only this part, and I want to convert this to a solid. So how can we do this? For example, we can come from here to here, make it a loft. G1 doesn't look so bad, so I will leave it in G1. Here to here, loft. G1 is okay. I join everything, and we just loft these parts. From here to here, loft in G0, G0, and everything until we finish. Okay, join it. We go to the other side. Okay, we grab everything and join it. So it's still a sheet because we have these open holes in the 4 corners. So to do this, to clean this, let's try to grab this object, and down here you can see a button called patch holes. And it should automatically patch every little hole we have. So this would make it faster. Okay, so as you see now it's a solid. I can unhide now the pieces. And what I want to do is I want to delete these inner faces so that we have a flat shape like here, or similar shape. So for this, we can grab this solid and this solid. So the moon and the wings, press Q, And down here you can see the option keep tools. Keep tools basically won't delete this object and keep everything. So I press keep tools, accept, and we can just grab this object and this object, delete it. On the other side as well, delete them. And we can just Q and Q to make a boolean. And that's how we have this shape. Now we can mirror it and boolean it. So now we have one of the most complex shapes in the sword. As you see, it's relatively easy. And now we should proceed with making this hole here. So for this, I can just make quickly a line from here to here, mirror it, join both the lines, and once it's a single line, we can press C to cut and delete this piece. So let's make the handle. So I would make a control point curve from here, go straight and then down. So again, correct the lines. From here, I press another control point curve to make these curvatures. And then I can just press Shift A for a line from here to here. And I just draw this shape. So I have this line and these lines. I'm going to join them. And I'm going to make this button revolve. I'm going to click and going up or down. And there we have our handle. Okay. I noticed that there is this kind of writing, I suppose, in the sword. So let's try to make some writing around this. But as you know, it's not so easy to write something and then wrap it around. But in Plasticity, there is a tool called grab and unwrap, and we try to use it now. So what I'm going to do is grab this face, only this face, and then I'm going to press F on grab face. And now we have the shape of this face unwrapped around the plane. But as you see, it's extremely long, so something must have been wrong here. Probably I have a bug or something, or I don't know. What I can do to fix this problem is grab the object, or actually let's grab this face, then press F, rebuild face, and just accept. So now it converted this object or duplicated this object, but rebuild. So I'm going to keep the second object. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the face, press F on grab face. And now it seems to work. It seems to be more logical, this length, according to this circumference. I can start writing here my text. So I'm going to press F and text. And I'm going to put alchemistik laboratory. So this text is too small. I'm going to move it to the center and see how it looks. I'm going to press Shift click to select this face. As you see, I selected it with the 3. And I'm going to do now is press F and grab face. And in this case, somehow it turned to the other side. So let's press Ctrl Z or Command Z. So now we know that this is somehow mirrored by somehow. So what I'm going to do is scale this text. And it seems that I need to rotate it 180 degrees. And we can test now how it looks. I'm going to press 3, grab this face, and then press grab. And as you see, it's not perfect, but I managed to write my text. So what I can do now is I will grab this object and rotate around the space I want. So for example, like this. And these lines I can already delete. I will grab all the text, Except these spaces. You can put your own text, you can put your own symbols, you just need to draw them and fit inside these lines we have and experiment it, because this is a bit, it's not so, it doesn't always make the same, this tool. Sometimes it mirrors, sometimes it's not, sometimes it scales it too much, sometimes doesn't. So you really need to be a bit careful. This is just something that when the moment arrives that you know that you have this tool and that you can use this tool. So I have this text and I'm just going to push them inside, something like this. Okay, so now that we have the handle, what we could do is we can do the upper part. Now, I'm not so sure how it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangular polygon and I'm going to grab an octagonal shape because I want to grab the inside points, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to grab these points and I'm going to scale them, something like this. I'm going to grab this shape and make a round chamfer, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it to this part, scale it, something like this, duplicate it and move it down. And I'm going to scale it as well. So I'm going to grab this line and this line we just did, loft it. And we would have this kind of shape. And I'm going to move this to the center here. Okay, seems correct. I'm going to grab the object and down here I'm going to select patch holes. And now it's a solid. If you want, you can also boolean this to this. And make something like this. This I can delete. So I have the handle, the text, this shape, and we can start to make this part of the handle, or we can draw this part of the sword. I guess I will start with the sword. So I'm going to grab this point and draw a control point curve until here. Okay. Then I draw a straight line around here and another control point curve. Repeat the process. I'm going to grab from this point, I'm going to press a shift to grab this guideline. And I'm going to draw from here to around here. And I'm going to draw all the way down here, another control point curve. Join these lines. So I have these lines and then I have these segments. And I'm going to do basically the same in the other side. So I'm going to draw from this reference, click here to here and around here. So Shift A to draw a line, and this line we can draw somehow up to here. And then we can just draw again a guide that goes straight up, something like this. Shift A. And we draw it to the other line. So let me hide everything so that you can see what I'm doing. So you will have this kind of shape. And these lines that are in the middle, I'm going to move them a bit to the side to have the thickness of the sword. And now we just need to loft this part and this part, this to this, and this to this. And from here, we can just make another loft in G0, grab all the faces, join them, mirror them, like so. These curves we can hide, and we can just connect some lofts. G0, and here as well G0, join this. And here I'm not so sure, maybe we can do a patch. Okay, it worked, seems to work, seems to match. Here as well we need to make a patch. And we just need to mirror the sword and convert it with a patch. So now it's a solid. Now we have our sword almost finished. You can, here you could scale it. Maybe it's a bit too thick. Scale it in Y. Something like this. We need to make this shape here. It seems to be thicker than the sword. So one way to do it would be, I will draw a line from here to here. Then maybe here. And from here all the way straight here. So I duplicate it, join this, imprint it, and now I think I find it easier if I scale these faces. So I'm going to grab all the faces from the sword below this shape, and then I'm just going to press them a bit inside, just a bit inside, like this. And what I can do is I can do this sort of decorations, and this decoration also goes all the way down here to the sword. So how we do this is, I see that this is circular, so I'm going to draw a line that goes from here to the middle of this cylinder, again from here to the middle, and from here as well to around the middle. Then I'm going to imprint these three curves, Shift I to imprint them. Maybe I can hide them again. And what I want to do is grab these lines and these lines, press Shift D, and this one as well, Shift D. So now I have these lines. This one actually I don't need. I only need these two in blue, this and this in blue. Okay. So I'm going to make a circle and sweep it. So what do I mean with that? I'm going to draw a center circle from this point. So you see that it's going to be drawn in this direction. And I scale it to the size that it's meant to be. Something like this. So you see what direction it takes. It goes straight up. Okay, so now I'm going to grab this. Down here you will see that there is a sweep. I grab the curve and we have the sweep. Going to patch the holes. So now it's a solid. And here I'm going to make a bevel, soft bevel, to around like this. But this one, the problem with this one is that it's mirrored. So what I'm going to do is leave this mirror at the end and continue with these shapes. So I'm going to grab the circle, move it down, snap it to the center, and make the same process. Sweep, like this. What else? And I need to do the same, but this one goes down all the way here. And while it goes down, it also makes itself thin. So how to do this? I'm going to grab a line that goes all the way here. So what I need to do is I need to grab this edge, convert it to curve, and these two curves, I'm going to join them. For a reason it's not how it doesn't work. If it's not working, it must be because of this division. So let's see if I can delete them with X and then try it again. Select these two curves, Shift D. Okay, now it seems to work. Now it's a single curvature. Together with this one, I'm going to join them. Okay. So you will have a shape like this. And the circle, I'm going to use it again. Move it and snap it to the center of this line. What I need to do now is curve array. So I look for curve array, click this curve, and I'm going to scale it down to around 25%. And maybe number 12 seems okay. And try to look at this, and these are somehow with the same distance, and accept. So this is important. I cannot just select everything and make a loft, because here you will see that it's going to create a strange shape. So we do it by parts. We grab these two and loft it. And then we grab these ones and loft it. Great. Then we hide these lines, and from this edge and this edge, I'm going to loft it. Maybe G2 seems to work better. This is one way to do it. You need to do it with much more calm. Maybe here I should have added more circles, but just correct this at home. Okay, so now we have this part, and we need to duplicate it and move it to the other side. I'm also going to join these sheets and patch the holes. So now it's solid, so it patched here and it patched down here. Now we just grab these ones and mirror them on the Y. Okay. Q and Q. And let's see if this can be lofted. No, it cannot be lofted. So I'm going to delete these faces, Shift X, and I'm going to patch these holes. Patch and patch. So now we have our objects, and I'm going to mirror it. So what else we need to do? We need to make this drawing. For this is relatively simple. We can grab just some straight lines. Something like this. And here I'm going to make these bevels. Okay. And here I'm going to draw a triangle. Something like this. Imprint it. Imprint these objects as well. And I'm going to draw some lines. Okay. Like this. This I delete, this I don't need. Let's see if everything is imprinted. Okay, it seems correct. Seems that I made the shape we need. I grab these faces together with this face. And I push it inside. If it doesn't work, just push this one as well. And then this one, you can maybe extrude it. Extrude it doesn't work. Okay, I delete this little piece that was there. Let's see maybe this does work. Nope. Okay, if it doesn't work, I'm going to delete this and also this in the back. And I'm going to draw it again, leaving a little space. Imprint it. Now this little gap should work. Okay. Something like this. And here as well. You can also make it a bit better at home. Try different ways to draw this. So it seems our sword is almost finished. We just need to make these details here. An object here. Mirror it. Imprint it. So this face, I can push it forward. Let's cut this piece from the handle because it doesn't let me see. So I'm going to draw a line from here to here. Okay. I have this cut and I'm going to draw this pattern and imprint it. And let's see how it works. So this one, I will push it forward. Seems to have a little spike here. So I will grab this object and this object. Actually, I will convert this to edge, Ctrl 2. I'm going to deselect the ones in the center, so I have only the ones outside. And from here, I'm just going to make a little like this. And then from here, I'm going to move it inside. I think it's better inside. Then as well, I'm going to grab these lines, make a bevel. Then I grab this face, extrude it, move it up, and then I grab these lines and I just make something like this. Now, this face, we can leave it like this. Doesn't look so bad. But if you want to finish in a pyramid, we just press X and it's automatically made in a pyramid. What we could do is just move it here and this line. This line, can just try to make it a point like this. Yes, perfect. I think that's all we need to do for our sword. There is this little detail. So we can just do it this quick because this tutorial is starting to take a long time and I always try to make them fast. I'm going to just draw some shape like this, imprint it. I want to grab this face, so for this I need to close this. So I'm going to grab from here to here, imprint this too. I'm going to grab it from here to here, imprint this. Okay. So now this I can move it inside or outside. I don't like that this looks like a polygon, so I'm going to grab this too and make it a soft, something like this. Yeah, it's just a little detail. Remember, do it better at home. Don't be rushed like me. All these curves we can delete. Now what we need to do is we grab this object, mirror it, Q and Q, and we finally finish our sword. What is this object doing? This revolve. This we don't need anymore. This is the first revolve. Okay, on the back side, Q and Q, we need to make this thing. So we make just some basic shapes. We grab all these rectangles, imprint them, and we should also imprint these ones here. Imprint. Okay, so now let's see if it works. Okay, so it worked. And we have finally our master sword. Quite the tutorial, eh? Now the only thing missing is we bring this sword to Blender and see how it looks. So, as you see, our sword looks quite good. So now we just need to put the materials. Okay, so now the render is finishing. You can see the results. I like how the model of the sword came out. We just need to make the materials a bit better, of course. This is just a very quick example. And remember, if you like these tutorials, please like, share and subscribe. This helps the channel a lot. Thank you everybody who has subscribed. So now we can say ex luto ad aurum. Until next time, thank you.